Hi, I'm Heather. I'm the owner here of M2 Core Plus. And today I'm going to run you through a little workout for your legs to strengthen your hamstrings and your glutes and your inner thighs. Your quads also a little bit. I'm going to show you with and without equipment. So I'm going to start off with a slider. You can purchase any of these at like Bed Bath & Beyond has them, or like your local hardware store. They're super light. They come with a little thing you can put on top of them. These are great if you have a hard surface to use. If not, then you have this little slippery thing. It's slippery, so it actually is meant to move furniture, but it slides on carpet really good. So since I'm on the hard surface, I'm going to use the cover for it. I'm going to start off with just a regular lunge. I'm going to show you two ways to do this. I'm going to start off actually with the left leg. So your right leg is forward, your left toes, the ball of your foot is on that slider. You're going to come down nice and slow, leg behind you, and then up. Pulling from the hamstrings and glutes on that right leg, you're stretching out the quad on that left. You can also hold it here for a stationary lunge to work some of those stabilizers, and you can pull your knee in and out. If you want to use weights, you can use cans from your kitchen cabinet, you can use water bottles. If you want to add a little extra upper body, gives you a little bit more cardio. Then I'm going to do same lunge, this time without the slider. You're just going to bring that left leg back. Right leg is still on the floor, and you're just going to go down. You want your knee to almost touch the floor, and then come back up, and then go back down. Again, you can hold it to work some of those stabilizers. You'll feel a nice stretch in that quad, as well as you'll be working your quads, hamstrings, and glutes on that right leg. We're going to do, using the slider again, we're going to do it, I'm going to face you, still my right leg, so my left feet, my left toes are on that slider. We're going to do a side lunge. So as you go out, you're going to stick that booty out because you want to make sure the knee stays behind those toes. Stick that booty out. I like to raise my hands for balance. And then up, keep a slight bend in both knees. Back down again. You can hold it to work those stabilizers. Pull the knee in and out. You can add weights to this as well. Again, the more muscles, the more you work your upper and lower body at the same time, the more cardio you will get. If you don't have a slider, then you can do it without. Same thing, you want to stick the booty out, you want to kind of come up on your toes on that left leg, and you're just going to squat down like you're doing a squat, and then come up, and then go back down. So it's a side lunge, but it's more like a squat, working your hamstrings and glutes. You can hold it here, stabilize, just make sure you keep that knee, ankle over each other. Okay, we're going to do some leg sweeps. So for these, you're going to need a mat, something you can put on the floor, again, if you have a hard surface. So, move my sliders out of the way here. I'm going to lay down facing you. When you want to lay down on the mat, you want to make sure you have a nice straight line from the top of the shoulder all the way to your hips. You don't want to lean forward, you don't want to lean back. You're going to take your right hand and put it in front. Slight bend in the left knee, but you want to make sure, see how I have a nice line from my knee all the way up to my shoulder? You don't want your knee too far forward or too far back. So when you look down, you should be able to line yourself up if someone drew a line in front of you. So this is called leg sweep. So right hand is in front. You're going to sweep your leg forward and back. So you can point your toes and then flex your heels and point your toes. This works those glutes. Also the core, make sure you keep that engaged as you sweep it forward and back. You're going to hold it in front and just lift and lower. Tiny little lifts. Again, you really want to try hard not to lean back. If you need to come down and lay down, if that feels better and gives you a little more stability, you can definitely do that. And then you're going to go back into those leg sweeps. You're going to do this for about 1 to 2 minutes because you're going to do different exercises. So after you've done those leg lifts and after you've done those leg sweeps, you're going to bring that leg forward like you did for the leg lifts. You're going to lift that leg up. You're gonna point the toe down, make sure the knee is facing the ceiling, point that toe down, turn that knee towards the direction the leg is going, and then straight up, open up that knee. You should feel a nice little stretch in that hip flexor. Back down, and then back around, and then you're gonna reverse that. So you're gonna go backwards, turn the knee up, lift the leg, drop the toes. Again, you can flex the feet and point the toes. This gives you a little bit more control as you're going through each movement. And then if you want to stop in front again, you can lift. All kinds of different ways you can do that. All right, we're going to go into some scrambled eggs. These are a bit challenging. They're good for the core and the glutes as well. I'm going to face you since we're still on that right side. You're going to come down on those hands like you would in plank. And you're going to extend that leg straight back. You're going to sweep it out to the side like you did in leg sweeps. But this time you're up, and then you're going to sweep it straight back. Now you don't have to come too high. The main thing you want to remember is that you're not leaning as you're sweeping that leg. See how I'm leaning like this? You want to make sure you're directly over, knee, ankle is over each other, and you're sweeping out to the side and straight back, squeezing the glutes at the top, and then engaging the obliques as you come back. You can come down on those forearms if you feel like you need some more stability. And same thing, you can hold it in the back and just lift right here, squeezing those glutes. And then go back into those leg sweeps. You can hold it here, you can lift and lower. Again, the main thing to watch out for is that you're not dumping that weight and that you have some good cushion underneath you. We're going to do what I like to call bungee kicks. So we do this on the machine. All of these exercises we do on the machine. I'm just showing you how to do it on a mat. You're going to grab, well, you don't really need a prop, but I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this. You can start off with, this is just a 3-pound weight. I'm going to put it right in between my knee right there. I'm going to come down on my forearms, I'm going to hold it here, I'm going to flex my foot. Make sure that your knee is nice and flexed and your foot is flat, and you're just going to do tiny little pulses towards the top of the ceiling. Okay? You can also pull the knee in and out. This is great for those lower abs, so you're still working those glutes, but it's a great little mini core exercise. You can even go out and in, little lifts. This is great for the hip flexors and those outer glutes. You can use a ball as well, same thing. For this exercise, to do all those exercises, for this exercise I'm going to show you some mega donkey kicks. So, same thing, you can either do this on your hands or your forearms. You just don't want to lean towards the left, that's the most important thing. You're going to lift your leg up, and you're going to squeeze towards that ceiling, pull the knee in. Okay, you can do this without. You can do this with a water bottle, you can do this with a can, you can do this without anything at all. It's just making sure that the knee is facing the front door or whatever direction you're in, and that it's parallel to the floor. The foot is flexed, and you're squeezing the glutes and the outer thighs as you pull in and out. So just a couple of options for you, depending on what you have and where you're at. So we're going to do next some leg lifts. So to do this, we're going to lay down on our mat, nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time, till the head touches your mat. Now I have scoliosis in my back, so I like to put my hands underneath my bottom for this. Then you're going to straighten that leg out. You can keep a slight bend in the knee if you have knee issues or really a lot of back issues. And all you're going to do is lift those legs up to about a 45-degree angle and then back down. But don't let the heels hit that mat and then bring it back up. This is great for that lower core. So you just have to concentrate on pushing those hands into your mat as you come up and as as you go back down. The next exercise we're going to do is some frog kicks. So you can use a ring, and I don't have my ring, but you can also use a ball for this. We're going to do frog kicks first, not inner thighs. I'm thinking inner thighs. This is still for inner thighs. Okay, so for frog kicks, this is great for the inner thighs, and it stretches out those hips. You're going to open up those knees. Make sure your heels are glued together. You're going to pull the knees towards you, heels towards you, and then you're going to squeeze the inner thighs, stretch the legs towards the ceiling, and then nice and slow, pull back in. Again, the entire body relaxes on that mat, and then squeeze back up. You can see my legs are shaking just a little bit, and then pull it back in. So for our inner thighs, you can use, you don't have to use anything really. You can even put like a dollar bill between your knees. You can do that, I've done that before, or even a quarter, and pretend that you're squeezing it. For this, I'm just going to demonstrate. You can put a weighted ball or just anything. You can even put a towel in between those knees. You want to make sure that your feet are flat on the floor and in line with those hips. You're going to hold it here, and you're just going to squeeze your knees together like you want to get them to touch, and then slowly release. And then squeeze it back together, and then slowly release. You can also do this in a tabletop position. It's a little more challenging, and it engages your core more. So you're going to squeeze the inner thighs, engaging your core, and then let it go, and then squeeze again. You can also do it with your legs almost straight. If you have something in between your knees, you will have to keep them slightly bent. You can squeeze those inner thighs and then let that go. After you've done all that, your legs will be tired, I promise you. So we'll do a little figure 4 stretch, and I love this for my hip flexors, especially since they get really tight with my scoliosis. So you just take one ankle, right or left, doesn't matter, cross it over that knee and grab behind the thigh, not the knee, and you're just going to pull towards you. At the same time, you can take that elbow and press it against your opposite knee as you pull it in. You should feel a nice stretch in the backs of those thighs and your hips, your glutes. That's mainly where you're going to feel it. Then you're going to cross the right knee over the left. I like to grab onto my shins, but if you don't have that kind of flexibility, you can just grab at your knees, whatever's most comfortable, and then pull those knees towards that chest. The main thing to remember anytime you have your lower body off the mat is that your back, from your shoulders to your lower spine, is all glued to the mat. And then you'll switch sides. You'll do the same thing on the other side. So you can repeat this set. You can do each exercise for 60 seconds, or you can do it for 90 seconds. You can do it for 2 minutes, depending on how strong you're feeling. And then once your legs are going to feel tired and kind of burn out, this is a great stretch. You can just relax on your mat, and then that's it. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hopefully this will help you gaining some strength in those thighs and glutes. I'll see you soon.